Hi everybody, Jenny with Bet in the Farm. It's bee time. Well, as you know, I told you that we were going to be getting our nukes soon. Well, they should be coming yet this week. So I need to be getting our frames ready to go. So I thought I'd bring you guys along with me and show you what I'm doing. I'm going to be turning frames that look like this into frames that look like this. Okay, so the nuke we're getting is going to have 5 frames with the nuke. So I need to, and ours is a 10 frame box, which means I've got to have 5 frames ready to go down in the base of our frame with the nuke and the new frames. So what I did is I went to our local bee supply and I got these sheets here. This is a starter wax with the wires. So I got that. So now I have to take these old ones and disassemble them. And I'm going to show you how I do in it. This is my first time. Well, I've done 3 frames. I've got 2 more to go. So it's not technically my first time. But it's my first time doing this project. So what I've got to do here is there is a small strip of wood here that helps to hold this sheet in. I've got to remove it. Turns out that of the beehive that we got, it actually has 2 D frames in it, the big ones in the base. So we actually are able to take that and make a whole nother set, a whole nother hive. So what I've got to do is, from after talking to the bee guy, because like I said, this is our first time ever having bees. So I'm trying to learn everything I can. Our bee association, that we're starting to be members of the bee association. They meet the last Friday of every month. So tomorrow will be our first meeting there. And I'm very excited to talk to other people. And then when our nuke comes, we'll get it, put it with the queen and the 5 frames in the base in our D box. Then once my D box is full, there's going to be 10 total. It's going to be the 5 I get with the nuke, these 5 that I'm doing right now. Once that gets full, then I'm going to put a mid-size box on top. Once that mid-size box is full, then I'm going to go in and put the queen excluder on, and then put a small box, a super on top of that. Then that honey will be ours. So I'm learning a little bit. The guy down at the local store is awesome. They're great people. And I'm very excited about doing this. So I'm just getting all the old wax and stuff cleaned off, because these frames are still perfectly good. But so as you can see on this one here that I haven't taken apart yet, they had taken wire to attach it to the edges. Well, I found out there's a little trick to that, so that you don't have it. You can see how it kind of waves this way, going here. See, it kind of waves, and that's why these wires were put there. There's a real simple thing you can do to where you don't have to do something like that. But right now, I'm just going to clean this up so I can put the new sheet in. Sorry for my little squeaky guests. I'm out here in the front room, and I've got my my brooder out here. My little babies. Okay, I kind of just clean it along the edges here. It really doesn't take much at all. I mean, it's a sticky job because there's still some built-in wax and stuff. But I'm just going to take and trim off this top piece here, where a lot of the wax is built up. And then in here, which is where the sheet needs to go through, it's full. So I got to take my knife, try to clean that out the best I can. without damaging the frame or cutting myself. That would be good too. So I'm getting that all cleaned up. Just a little bit down in here. Just a little bit more. Okay. All right. So I'd say this is probably pretty clean. Slice a little bit down in here. See if, I don't know if you can see that. All right. So now that I've got that one all cleaned up, see, now it's ready for my sheet. So now the trick is, so this is the bottom. You can see here it's got the longer wires. Well, here, let me take that sheet off here. This here has got just little wires across the top. Down here, it's got longer wires. So let's see if you can see that right there. So this is what goes on the bottom, that this little strip of wood actually holds this down on there. So all you do to get it to where you don't have that wave is I'm just going to take and snip off the corner. Just go across the edge right there. See? Just took off a little bitty corner of it. That's all I did. I'm doing the same thing over on the other side. Take off the little corner there. Then you just go in and you're going to, I'm going to see if you can watch this. It feeds in through the top slot. Just like so. Like you can get open frames, just like this here with nothing in it. You can use open frames and let the bees build it themselves. Or you could get plastic ones. We preferred not to use the plastic ones, but we also want to give them a good starting chance. So we decided to go with these wax papers, the wax sheets. So now look, it's up inside there. So now I've got my wires down in here, and I just go in. Might be up a little too high. Just a smidge. And then this piece is going to go right back there on like that. And then just tack that down. I don't have a nail gun in here or a staple gun. So just doing it to show you. And that's how you repaper, re-wax a frame. Get it clean and ready to go. So all you gotta do is tack it there, and then this is gonna go down in the box. So go ahead and do another one. It's so much fun learning new things like this. I'm really enjoying it. I'm nervous about bees just because I am allergic. So Chad said he's going to be doing most of the actual beekeeping, but I'm having fun learning about them and getting things ready and doing the box, getting the box ready, and I got it all cleaned out. It's very exciting to know that we actually have enough that we can do a whole nother box when we're ready. All we have to do is buy a base, to put the feeder and stuff on, the base of it, and then a new, I don't know what it's called, but the lid that has the hole in it, and then the cover. That's all we got to do, and then we're ready to rock and roll with a whole new one. And I've got enough frames left that all I have to do is resheet those as well, so I can start there. We can get another nuke, or just start from, just build it up and let them start from that one as well. I'm going to stop just for a second. But yeah, and then we're going to have the hive is down where we're going to have our raised beds, which will help with our garden, hopefully. I'm going to plant some sunflowers down there, some marigolds. There's actually something that someone had posted on Facebook, and it had all the different things that you could plant that helps attract bees or helps bees. I think lavender's one, which of course I'm going to plant a whole bunch of lavender. I think maybe, can't think of all the other herbs and things now. There's a whole list of things. This one's actually not that bad. So my top one, the top page, like I see this, it's got a little bit on it. I'm trying to scrape some of that off. Some of my frame had a little bit of mold. So this one here, I will actually spray it down. I noticed it's got a bit of mold on it too. All you have to do is spray it with bleach water and then let it set. Let it set for about 3 or 4 days and the bleach will actually evaporate out of it. So but I'm excited about our meeting tomorrow. It should be a lot of fun, learn a lot, meet a lot of new people, a lot of fellow beekeepers. You know, maybe we can find a mentor that can come check out our hive once we get our nuke. But they're just super nice people. I'm learning a lot just from the owner of the bee supply store. All right, here's another sheet. I'm gonna go ahead and cut those corners again. Make sure you cut the corners on the wire, the smallest end. Not the longer end, because the longer end is what goes down that this wood strip attaches to. Cut off a little corner there. A little corner there. You know, this kind of just gives a good foundation for the bees to build off of. If you already have the wax sheets. Like I said, you can use open frames if you want. But another thing with from what the guy had told me at the bee supply, if you use an open frame, so like if these were completely open and you got them side by side, what'll happen sometimes, which I know these are upside down, so forgive me. But anyway, if you had them side by side and this was completely open, the bees will actually start to go from one to the other. So then you have one solid frame because they would build it all in between the two. This way, they still may do that a little bit, but more likely you're going to have some nice clean frames. So that's another reason why we preferred to go with the already made wax sheets. All right, so this is up in there. I'm not going to lie, my first one I was super nervous about. I was afraid of breaking anything or ruining things. It's pretty forgiving, actually. And now I'll just go in and I'd be ready to tack this one down. And there's another one down. So there we go. Well, I hope maybe you learn a little bit. I'm happy to bring you along as I'm learning. So I just thought this was a good, quick little project that I'm working on. Wanted to get done before our bees came because I'd be upset if our nuke's here and ready for us to get and we don't have the hive ready. So I wanted to get these frames all done and I figured I'd come along or bring you all along and see how he told me to do it and what I'm doing. It may not be exactly how you're doing it. It may not be exactly right, but I'm learning and it looks like it's going to work. So I'm pretty happy with that. So anyway, thanks for coming along, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you like this video and what you've seen here, give us a thumbs up. You can find us on Bet in the Farm on Facebook and on Instagram, and we appreciate it. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.